What's up, everybody? It is I, Sigma, and we are back with episode 49 of the BBET GamesCast. I'm joined by Superman Jeff.
What's going on, people? It's your favorite superhero here.
As well as Mr. Gamer.
Hello there.
And Blue Bones.
It's your boy. What's going on, y'all?
And welcome special guest, Kendra Davis, to the podcast.
Woo!
Hello.
What's up?
They also know me by Senpai because
I was gonna say, yeah, the dolphin, right?
Senpai the Dolphin.
How did that name come
Senpai
about?
the dolphin. Well, I think because me, Blue, and Casey, we're all in the same like nerd group called Urban Anime Lounge.
Yep.
And I've always been known in the group to just post the most wildest sim stories in there. And so one of my friends, like, he just came up with the nickname, "Hey, what's up, Senpai?" And I'm like, that has a really nice ring to it.
Right, it's effortless.
I'm gonna keep this.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I got one of my many nicknames. So yeah.
Awesome.
I dig it. Yo,
So-
her sim stories are wild AF, to say the least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely followed a lot of that
After
nonsense.
dark.
Yeah,
Describes
I
a
mean,
lot of-
I've migrated all of that to like my other pages because
Yeah.
on Twitter it's not as restrictive, so
Mhm.
I'm like all the way off the wall on Twitter.
Good to know. So, as we tend to always do, we like to start things off with what we've been playing for the week or now what we've been watching, etc.
Yeah.
So does anybody want to go first? We'll give Kendra a little break so that you kind of see how
I'll
the
go
flow
first.
of it is. So go ahead, Blue.
Okay.
First of all, shout out to Superman Jeff. Put me on to Tower of God. Now, I'd seen it around, but Jeff is one of them hard-headed dudes that's just gonna drive something into you.
Right, yeah,
if
when Jeff
you
wants you to
think
do
he's
something, he tries to make you feel
Yeah.
bad for
Wow.
not doing it.
Exactly. I'm having that current. I'm in the middle of that current struggle with Destiny 2, but that's another story. Tower of God. I think after episode 5, I was like, oh, I can't stop watching this. Dang it! Like the first 3 episodes, I was like, I don't know, maybe. And then they just did a couple switches and a couple reveals, and you're just like, oh, this show deserves my attention. So good on you, Mr. Superman Jeff. I'm
Well
all
done.
caught up now.
Nice
Yeah,
recommendation
well done.
for once.
Yeah, man.
Always.
No, don't say always. Nobody said all that.
Oh,
but
boy.
what I've been playing. So finally got my PC back. You guys see my camera quality is a little bit better. I shouldn't say I got it back. I got it replaced. Long story. Ask me about it later. But I'm going back onto my PC games. I actually did some PC Overwatch this week with some of my old high school friends, and it was fun getting back into that. But
Mhm.
at first I was like, okay, I'm gonna use keyboard and mouse, right? And I tried it like 2 games, and in my head, I'm so fast thinking about Overwatch. I'm like, okay, I know what I want to do, and my body cannot keep up.
I keep saying it. The keyboard is a god awful controller. Like, it's just
No,
not
I don't
good.
believe that though.
The keyboard. The keyboard.
No,
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
Okay.
I don't believe that because I've played really good FPS on the keyboard before, where I started on the keyboard and learned the game like that.
How-
But I've
how-
learned
how's your hands?
Overwatch with the controller.
Like,
Huh?
are your hands okay? Because that's how you get carpal tunnel.
Yeah, fam. Look,
They have ergonomic
I-
gaming keyboard and mice, by the way.
I play piano. I played piano since I was like 8 years old. I'm an IT. I tap on the keyboard all the time, and I'm a gamer. My hands are wrecked. It's not even a game. Like, I'm waiting for Bionic hands to come out. I'm gonna be the first one on the list. Anyway, yeah, Overwatch on a PC. I knew it was gonna be a different speed, but I was happy to get my Xbox controller, plug it into my my laptop, and just keep up
Just
with my
do
friends.
it that way,
on
right?
controller.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it actually worked out.
I played Rainbow
know.
Six Siege with the
yeah.
Escapist Cruise with a controller. Like, I don't care. I'm not doing
Yeah.
this.
Why are you so adamant though?
It's a-
like
it's
it's done something personal to you.
It's counterintuitive. I give
the,
it that.
the only advantage that a keyboard and mouse has is the mouse. Like,
mouse,
you're
yeah.
literally pointing where you want to shoot. That's what makes it so precise. That's why pros choose it, because the mouse makes it 1,000 times easier to aim. But this nonsense for controlling everything else, come on, man.
And
I
got
value
one
my
of them,
hands.
I got one of them gaming mice too. I didn't configure it, but like it's got the weights and everything like
wow.
that, and
Yeah.
Cool.
adjust the sensitivity right there.
Yeah, that's
I
extra.
did that a lot mid game when I was working on Valorant. This other
So you actually started
by,
playing that?
just a little bit. I went through tutorial. It didn't have oh my gosh, controller
Support?
input, support. So I'm doing keyboard and mouse with that. But yeah, I just went through the tutorial and I wanted to actually stream my first game experience. So I held off on the rest of that. But I was looking through the heroes. They look really cool. They're very detailed. And I'm kind of excited to see where it
That's
goes.
about Riot Games from League of Legends.
Mhm.
That's
they're-
right.
they're
That's right.
Usually very detailed and well thought out.
And I love the trailer that they had for it. It was super cool. On top of that, been doing RDO. I'm trying to keep up with Mr. Gamer, but this man
can't, it's not
he's
possible.
going off the rails.
Okay, to be fair though,
Yeah.
this is also coming from the same gentleman who, and I will not forget this,
Okay.
criticized me heavily
Yeah.
in the game for my outfit. Like
100%.
and now
And
you
I'll
know
do it
what?
again.
Blue is a
No,
bougie
you know-
cowboy, I guess.
He is bougie. He's bougie like
You know
that.
what? No. I'm going to save that. I'm not going to take any more of Blue's time. So I'm gonna leave that for my section and
For
let
your
Blue
time.
continue.
Yeah,
Last but
you
not
wear the right
least.
thing or looking the right way, he got something to say about it.
Last but not least, we did some work on Destiny 2. We did Free For All Friday with that. It was me, Sigma, and Jeff. They got that shoulder charge, you know what I'm saying? That
boy.
Titan. Yeah. And it worked. And then we did that weird event yesterday, and I'm sure we're gonna talk about it.
No,
Are we
that
talking
was
about
not an
later?
event. That was not an event. Okay, that was a
I don't know what
mistake.
that was.
That was
That
a
was a
waste
mistake
of my
on Bungie's.
time. That
That was
Kendra,
Destiny.
did you hear about this? Did you hear about this Destiny 2 event yesterday? Miss Kendra?
Did I hear about the Destiny 2?
Yeah.
I have not.
So
Okay.
basically, and I'm not gonna go into the lore of Destiny 2, but basically you
Mhm.
had this one AI god in the sky who's gonna blow up this ship that represented everything that was evil or whatever.
Did you see
And what happened?
there was a whole cutscene for that.
No, there wasn't.
No, there
Yeah, I
wasn't.
watched it. Yeah, Casey
was.
started to.
Oh, you're talking about
The
when-
beginning.
oh,
yeah.
with Zavala and all that.
Yeah, when it shipped.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was
okay.
it was a Cabal massive warship. They basically disabled all the thrusters and the steering and sent it on a crash course to the last city. And then the whole season, you were supposed to be doing all these missions for the AI Warmind to basically stop it. So this was the culmination of that, where you see that event take place. So it was like one of those Fortnite events where everyone gathers and they watch a thing happen, but it was Destiny 2 doing it for the first time. And it was over an hour
sucked.
and a half of a very slow spaceship blowing up.
Love how my explanation was not sufficient for my teammates here.
Like Blue's explanation was about as slow as the actual event. So we had to
When
do that.
yes,
Just
because
about.
and you would think that for this event, like, okay, there must be some reward. You get an emblem. You get an emblem.
Yeah,
But not
definitely.
only do you get an emblem, but even if you didn't stay for the whole hour and 30 minutes of this stupid event, all you had to do was just simply go to where the thing crashed, hold the X button, and you got it. Are you kidding me? This is literally the culmination of this meeting could have been an email. This meeting could have been an email. Why am I here? This is ridiculous.
Pretty much.
Something tells me we're gonna hear Gamer's opinion on this one day. But yeah, no, that's what I've been playing and watching this week.
All right, Kendra, how about you?
Yeah.
What have you been playing or watching this week, or in general?
I haven't really been watching anything anime related lately because most of my faves, they got postponed. Like I was gonna watch Fruit Wars, or at least the most recent episode of Fruit Wars, but I'm just like, it's no use now because they were just like, the rest of the season is just postponed until further notice. I'm just like, well,
hold on. Have they finished? They're still doing the. Is it still the team Shogeki? Is that still happening?
yes, basically. So they're like pretty much on their quote unquote summer vacation, and they're supposed to introduce like this new character, but I'm just like, we don't really know anything much about him because as soon as I think the second episode came out, that's when the news came out and was like, oh, by the way, the season is postponed until further notice. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. I'm like, are you serious right now?
That had been.
So as far as like, oh, go ahead.
No, you. Sorry, my apologies. Please continue.
So as far as like anime wise, I haven't really been picking up much of anything. So
that's okay. What about
what else do you watch?
Yeah, what about other TV? Like we dive into
other TV. I just got into this Netflix series. It's by Ryan Murphy, by the way. It's called Hollywood. And they pretty much have like some of the same actors from like American Horror Story, American Crime Story, and it's wild. They show like the ins and outs of, I guess you could say, 1920s Hollywood.
Oh, that's gotta be
They have
good.
Darren Criss. They have Queen Latifah. I didn't even know Queen Latifah was in this until like the second to last episode. I'm like, Miss Queen? What?
It's funny you mentioned her. I'm right now.
Yeah, overall, like it's been a very interesting series.
Is it a Netflix original?
But yeah, pretty much it's a Netflix original. I thought it was an FX original since Ryan Murphy is directing it. But it was like, no, this is strictly him placing this series on Netflix. So overall, it's pretty dope.
Nice.
As far as what I've been playing, of course, I've been playing The Sims. They just recently came out with a new pack called Eco Living, and it's supposed to promote sustainability within the game. I was kind of on the fence about it initially, like as well as other people, because we didn't know what to necessarily expect. But like the features that they have is like. Right? Yeah, like, but we, like me and like the rest of my friends, like we always been on our P's and Q's, like, oh my gosh, this pack was trash. And then when you actually play it, like, oh my gosh, like this is pretty cool. They have upcycling features. You can actually vote on neighborhood plans to better be efficient for the community as a whole. What else?
Wait, there are neighborhoods? What does that mean?
Yeah, they're different neighborhoods.
As in, like, are other players your neighbors, or is it more of a simulation?
It's more of a simulation. So with each pack that they come out with, they always add some type of new neighborhood. So, like, say for instance, with the Island Living pack, they added this neighborhood called Sulani. And it's supposed to have like the Hawaiian type feel to it and stuff like that. It's very beautiful. And they have dolphins there. And of course, I lost my everlasting mind. I'm like, you need to tell me I can be a mermaid and I can like swim and talk with these dolphins. I'm in. Like, I'm sold.
Why not?
So as far as like the Eco Living pack, you can actually check your eco footprint. Whether it's on the far end where like it's just strictly industrial and there's smog everywhere. Like you can literally see the smog and your Sims can be coughing, like literally be coughing.
Oh my goodness.
As they're like going about their business, like you're about to die. Go back to the neutral community. Or you can have like the strictly natural where you can have wind turbines, you can have solar energy, you can have water generators implemented with not only in your household, but just everywhere else in the community. And that'll raise your eco footprint. So I just thought that was pretty dope. And you can also, I think you can also set up events within your calendar. Say, for instance, if you want to have like a sustainability day, you can set that up. You can have your Sims either, do certain type of interactions to make your sustainability day as effective as possible. So that's what I've been playing. And then aside from that, I've been also playing Animal Crossing, just like everybody else.
Well, just like these guys.
This is literally my first time ever getting into the franchise, because I've been seeing so many people talk about it on social media, and I was just like, well, let me just look at this.
Yeah, it's the wave. The quarantine kind of helped push it way over the edge.
Yeah, definitely. So I've been playing that. I know they recently came up with the wedding season, and like on one end, I was like all for it, but then I was just like, I gotta go to Herb's Island, and that man is wild creepy. I'm just like, his whole setup when you first meet him. I'm like, why is there a casting couch in your house, bro?
It really is, though.
What?
It really is, though.
It really is, and I'm just like, no, I don't like this. But I'm just like, if I want to get these little parts or whatever, I might as well just go in there.
Oh, man.
So I got a question for you on this wedding season patch. Right now, this is something I've been trying to figure out myself. I didn't do too much research. I'm wondering if you know. So they just introduced the dodo services where you can send stuff back to your storage and sell things with the liquidation, right? And when I was on Harv's Island, it let me do it there, but then when I went to another island, it didn't. So I was wondering, do you know if it's just Harv's Island specific, or
pretty much Harv's Island specific? It's just Harv's. So
Man,
basically, basically what the couple were saying, that each day they have different events or different photo ops that different things that you have to do to get, the crystal gems or whatever. So you have to actually go back there every single time on Harv's Island to do that.
Man, that's heavy.
What is it? Animal Crossing being tedious? Wow, I'm so shocked.
Okay, so there's you know what? Nope. I gotta keep it.
Yeah.
Just gonna.
Yeah, he's trying to get a rise.
Take the bait. Take it. Okay, so does that do it for you, Kendra? That's all you've been playing and watching?
Pretty much, because I've been working like every other day, so I've been trying to abide my time during quarantine.
Yeah, I hear that.
Real. I can go next if nobody.
I would like to go next.
Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Ooh, this man is hyped today.
Okay. So, first I'm going to start with what I've been playing. I have been playing a lot of RDO, actually. A whole lot. Like, out of all the I have the collector role maxed out. I'm almost maxed out on Bounty Hunter and Moonshiner as well. But
wait, don't those different roles, they cost like money to get into, right? Like in-game money, but
yes, they cost gold, which would be the premium currency.
Right.
You can do daily challenges, find treasure maps, and do those things to get gold. So you don't actually need to spend money to do any of this. You don't. But I like to play. I like to be utility. Like, I like to have whatever it is that I want to have to make sure that I can do the job as quickly and efficiently as I possibly can. And typically when I'm playing with blue, that's the goal. But then this wonderful gentleman over here is like, hey, gamer, how long have you been playing this? I don't know. So you're going to get like, I still see your character wearing like the same default clothes. I'm like, well, yeah, but like, I have this gun, I have this arrow, I've got all this other stuff. It's like, well, yeah, but like, you look so generic. You look like Jeff. And I'm like, okay, no, I don't. Man
just shames people.
No, actually, your character looks like Harriet Tubman. I've seen your character.
You're right, exactly. It ain't the cool version either.
No, not Harriet Tubman, the Vampire Slayer. Just,
if that was your goal, that would be one thing.
She does look like she just be running around singing old Negro spirituals.
Oh my goodness! Thing. At that time, we probably would.
Yeah, that's all she was
real
doing.
Talk.
Okay, so
let's bring it back, though.
Yeah, let's. So obviously, Blue had to give me crap about my outfits. Maybe he was jealous because I had better guns. I don't know. So been playing a whole lot of that. Another game that I've been playing a lot of is still playing a lot of Killing Floor. I have had a few moments of not necessarily silent practice. Because the moment that I get on, like I'll just be hit up on Xbox, like, hey, invite me, because it's a nice, simple, mindless game, which is extremely necessary given the times. So there is that. Also been playing some Animal Crossing, not as much as I have before. Excuse me, not as much as I have before, but I'm definitely looking forward to that. But a new game that I recently picked up is from Way Forward. I love them. We have Shantae and the Seven Sirens. I am a huge Shantae fan.
Yeah, I remember.
Show the tattoo.
Excuse me?
The Shantae tattoo you got.
I'm gonna. You're jeffing, so I'm gonna bring it back to what I was doing. Okay.
At the time of reveals, I get it.
So got it. But yes. So
that's the OnlyFans.
Which I am not going to be sharing on this podcast. I will not be sharing my OnlyFans on this podcast.
That's its own separate thing. It's not related to BBET Incorporated.
Yeah, nothing.
I mean, if it gets the numbers, you know what I'm saying.
Anyway. His premium furry Snapchat.
Jeff, how'd you know that was the genre?
Okay, so
this podcast is going left.
Man, is it? Oh, okay. Man,
Animal Crossing.
Thank you. Yes, Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Been playing quite a bit of that. I'm trying to figure out the whole residence thing, because one resident will leave, but you can only get certain kinds of residents. And the name of my island is Misfits, so I want basically all the weird looking ones. Like there's
them.
I mean, there's a frog that's actually a robot, and I want this, and I want this resident so badly.
Was it Rabbit?
Rabbot.
Does it look like a robot frog, or does it look like a frog?
It looks like a frog, but it's a robot.
Wait,
it's a robot that looks like a frog.
Is he identifying as a robot, or is he an actual robot?
He is an actual robot. Okay, no. We're gonna time out. We're gonna time out right here. We're gonna time.
I need to know
right here. Do you need to know only because you need to build up more Animal Crossing salt?
No, this is actually interesting. Animal Crossing to me is very boring, but you're telling me that there's an actual amphibian who might be a cyborg?
No, it is a cyborg in the case of an amphibian.
Yes, it is a robot.
So like Terminator, if you like blew his arm off, it would just be like exoskeleton.
Keep it going.
Okay, yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. Last but not least, a game that I am actually getting back into speed running, is The Binding of Isaac, Afterbirth Plus. I am trying to get back into speed running this game. I used to, and then Enter the Gungeon came out, and unfortunately I just dropped it. But I would like to get back into speed running that. Tim McMillan has also made, I think it's The Adventures of Bumbo.
Yeah.
Which is
I reviewed that.
I hate the title, but it's fun.
It looks pretty interesting, so I'm gonna watch that, do that. Things that I've been watching. Okay. So aside from still going through Archer, just finished all of The Last Airbender on Netflix.
Like you rewatched that, or you watched it for the first time?
For the first time, like completely through. I didn't miss an episode of anything, because I started watching it like back when Channel 54 was Nickelodeon, so that was when I would watch it. But now I was able to, like, without interruptions, just go through it all. And man, that is a show that really still holds up. And I'm surprised that the show still holds up so well. Like
in,
exactly as the show is. It still
it was
holds up
so
today.
ahead of its time. Like in all honesty, like it was by far the best thing on Nickelodeon when it was airing, and they still gave it problems. Like the people still were like not letting it do what it wanted to do.
I have an off the wall question. Jeff, go ahead first.
Fun fact, the animator from Avatar actually works on Clone Wars.
Really?
Oh, really?
And then he went to work on The Mandalorian.
That makes a lot of sense.
That does make a lot of sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
If you have time, check out the documentary on The Mandalorian for the making of it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've been putting that off.
It's on Disney Plus, right?
Yeah. Ooh.
Okay.
Jeff dropping gems.
Boom.
But really off the wall question. Does everybody remember what channel Nickelodeon was when you were growing up?
For me, I believe it was like channel 6, and then it changed at some point.
No, I remember all of my TV stations. I remember all of those channels.
Nickelodeon was 6. You can go if you didn't have cable. You can go from 5 to 7. In between was that.
Yeah, because 5 is Fox and then 7 is ABC. So like, yeah, it was like right in the middle.
I guess it must be different over here in the Midwest because it was 54 Nickelodeon, 55 Disney Channel, 56 Cartoon Network.
Yeah, it varies by state.
Yeah.
Okay.
Area.
Boom. There we go.
What do you have?
See, I went from basic cable to like Comcast to DirecTV to like Verizon Fios, so I really could not keep.
Oh yeah, so you had everything. You had everything.
I was just like, which channel is which? Oh, it's okay. I would just look at the cable guide, figure out which one, try to memorize it, but it varies. Definitely.
I know it was 43 in my crib, and then 45 was Cartoon Network, and 46 was Disney. But I don't remember what 44 was. That always just, I don't know.
It was probably the Spice Channel.
The Spice Channel?
The Spice Channel?
Look it up if you don't know. or don't look it up. How about, let's not do that.
It's terrible.
Okay.
But Gamer,
all right, so
Gamer, was that all you've been watching?
Yes. That pretty much sums up everything I've been watching.
Oh, you already did playing and watching.
Yeah, I already did. Yeah, I did that first.
You can go next.
You want me to go next?
You're allowed.
Anyway.
Oh.
So I haven't been playing too much, especially nothing new. I have still been on Minecraft with Starboy, and I am a fan. Like, I'm not playing it. I love playing it with him because we actually do have a fun time. But I like the game Minecraft. I get it.
Okay.
Like, it is a survival game, like at the heart of it. And I wasn't a big fan of survival games until recently. Like there are merits there, but it's that sense of accomplishment from like building a thing and like making yourself self-sustainable, and then like, you know, you craft all the stuff that you use, and you use that stuff to go and defend yourself and your stuff from like other people that are in the area. Like, that game is fantastic, and it's just full of little logic puzzles, which is the thing that really hooked me. Because it was like, okay, so if you put these blocks together on a crafting table, you make a furnace. Okay, well, I can stick, you know, this iron ore in the furnace, but then there's another box here for another thing. I don't know what the hell goes there. But you know what should go there? Coal. Like, I had to look it up because I couldn't figure it out. But when I found that out, I was like, that makes so much sense. You're putting the metal, and then you're putting the energy source, and then you get the iron ore. Once you get the iron ore, you can make the swords with the sticks, and it's just this big chain and web of all of this interconnected nonsense.
Mm-hmm. So Animal Crossing.
So Animal Crossing, yeah.
I mean, you're right. Animal Crossing on a very basic level does a lot of the same stuff, except they don't let you do the stuff. Like, they let you press a button and you see the stuff happen, and then
so you
have to wait 24 hours before you can go back and do the stuff again.
Wait,
you don't know that.
That's
not the case.
No. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. My apologies.
Ignorant.
My apologies, Kendra.
Go ahead. Defend Animal Crossing once again.
What you're saying is Animal Crossing is all of the reward with none of the risk.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Animal Crossing does not let you actually play a game. It's so passive. Like, it's
no. That is the game.
That's the game, though.
And to me, that's not enough. Okay. That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
I need
that's
more of
cool.
I need to be challenged more by my gameplay experiences. And Animal Crossing is way too laid back for me to find it entertaining.
Cool.
I think
Got
it's crazy that y'all just gonna let him bash Animal Crossing like that.
Shut up, Jeff.
Celestia.
Like, I can understand that if you want to use it as a stress reliever or you want to use it to just hang out and like, I understand that that's the place for it.
So
But
you're
as
saying
a
it could have been a
game,
mobile game?
huh?
Is that what you're saying? You're saying it could have been a mobile game? Is that what you're telling me?
Absolutely,
stop.
absolutely, 100%.
I
Animal
mean,
Crossing.
they do have a mobile
Right,
game.
yeah, they have
They do
the
have a
mobile
mobile
version,
version.
and they intentionally leave, features out of it that it's not like they couldn't do it on your phone. They just left it out because they want you to buy the $60 console version. So that's just a business decision.
So is that your closing statement?
Okay, I'm just.
Let's get through these.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Anyway, so aside from Minecraft, I've been watching a couple of shows, like a bunch of different shows, honestly. I finished Megalo Boxer, which is all on Netflix. The show's story.
So you know,
Say again?
it's on Hulu too.
Oh, okay.
And the animation's better. They actually
It's
it's
better.
like a
Oh, they redid it. Okay, because that was something I wanted to take note of. The art style doesn't look current, even though the show's fairly new. Like, it looks like they intentionally did like kind of a line art
Lo-fi.
pencil style. Yeah. So it looks slightly like it's older, but it's still like I didn't mind it so much. I got used to it after like maybe the second episode. But yeah, I liked the story. I thought that the fights were underwhelming, especially
But
when
it's
my
all about
other
fights, right?
yeah, it's about boxing, but it's like a futuristic boxing where people wear like an exoskeleton thing around their bodies. And so like the main characters is like this very low class dude, and then there's this very high class city, and there's a big boxing tournament in that city, and so he gets a fake ID to participate in that for various reasons. I won't go into too much spoilers. And then he basically is like trying to make his way up the ranks and prove that he has worth within like this more, extravagant society. So decent story. Like, I liked the story. I liked seeing where all the characters ended up and how they grew and progressed and whatnot. But yeah, the fights were very underwhelming to me, and I feel like that's doubled by the fact that one of my favorite animes ever is Hajime no Ippo, which is a boxing anime, and it's fantastic in terms of just fight choreography. Like, the way they talk about what they're doing is like classic anime, where like it's like a minute and a half of just explaining what the punch is, and then they do the punch, but the punch is so much better for it.
Yeah.
So like, it was fine. Like, if I had to rate it, I'd give it like maybe a 7. But it did feature the main character is of color. I don't know what color, but he's a brown guy. So I like putting him on. We'll claim him.
If you have time, there's a better one on Netflix original series. It's called Levius. That it's pretty much that futuristic boxing with like metal equipment and stuff as well.
Okay, Levius, you said it's called?
It was pretty good. I finished it.
Nice. So aside from anime, I also just finished an HBO series called The Righteous Gemstones. It's
You finished that?
Yeah, me and Kia watched it over the course of like 3-4 days.
I was about to say y'all just started that.
Like, it's not super long. I think it was like 8 or 10 episodes. But if you don't know, it's well, the episodes vary. Like, the first episode is like an hour, and then all the ones between the first and the last episode were like 30 to 35 minutes. So the last one was like an hour. But it's, if you don't know, Danny McBride is the writer and star of it. So it's very much in the vein of other stuff he's done, but he's part of a religious family. It's like a father and 2 sons and a daughter. They own a mega church, like Joel Osteen style mega church. Like, they make millions and millions of dollars peddling Jesus to the world or whatever. And then, you basically get to see the behind the scenes of like a family that, is super religious. Like, they're all preachers and pastors, but also are very wealthy and, are extravagant and whatnot. And it surprised me because on the surface, it's like, okay, so this is going to show how corrupt these kinds of preachers are. But even though a lot of them are detestable, you can see that there are some morals there that they hold true to. And even though they're doing some outrageous nonsense, by the end of the show, a lot of them actually redeem themselves. And it's like, you know what?
Really?
They did kind of earn where they are right now. Yes, it's very exploitative, but these people aren't doing it to be malicious. At least that was the vibe I got from at least some of it. Some of it.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch because I have to stop. It got mad cringy.
Yes,
after a
it
while,
gets.
bro.
Oh man, that show is very cringy. Like, but yeah, you come out on the other side, and like there is some like heartwarming family stuff there, and like there's a lesson to be learned. But overall, I don't think it's defending mega churches and stuff like that, but it does kind of let you see from that
Humanize it.
perspective. Yeah. So I thought that was actually really interesting. But yeah, other than that, we played some Destiny 2, like Blue mentioned, and I just want to say after that event, because I was getting sucked in. Like me and Jeff were talking about it. Destiny 2 is one of my favorite games of the generation period. Like we mentioned it like on a previous show, right? Like the way it controls, like the way it builds the world. Even though it didn't tell its story great the first time round, it kind of improved about it the second one. It's still a good lore. Like there's very interesting story there. But every time Destiny kind of gives you something you want, they kind of take away something else, or like they make you feel frustrated for something else that they're doing. And over the hundreds and hundreds of hours I poured into it, I finally kind of felt like I get it. I don't want this anymore. Like I love what Destiny was. I'm not trying to be a part of that anymore. Like there's other games that I want to play. And then us fooling around with it on Friday was making me feel like maybe I should play some more Destiny. Because Destiny is really fun. But then this freaking live event where I had other work to do. I tuned into our friend Squall's stream because he was going to stream
Shout out to Squall.
Yeah, shout out to Squall.
He was
Really
giving
fun
us a whole
stream.
history lesson.
Yeah, he was giving us mad history while we were sitting there watching. And good thing because we had nothing else to do.
We're just sitting there, just like, oh, okay, yeah. Oh, wait, no, we can see some red lights. All right, cool. Let's stare at these for a few minutes.
Yeah, so like I'm expecting like a 5, 10, 15-minute thing, and then I can go back to what I'm doing. But I ended up having to go into the game because we weren't sure if we were in the right place. We're like, okay, so if we're in orbit, maybe we see one thing. If we're on the space station, the tower, maybe we see a different thing. So I went and logged in. And then you're like, you know what, there's nothing out in space. Why don't you just come in? So I went into the tower. So I'm sitting in the tower looking at the sky like everybody else for an hour and a half before this entire sequence completes. And at the end of it, like Gamer was saying, all you get is the emblem. Like you don't have to do a mission. You don't get anything visual. It's like on your name, you just get a background. And that's what you get for your hour and a half. And that just sums up the entirety of Destiny so well. Like the promise of all this stuff. Good times, because we did have fun while watching it.
Yeah.
But then just at the, like, it just doesn't feel worth it at the end. So that basically was like, you know what? I'm good on Destiny 2. I'm not gonna go back into it. Like I'll play with you guys if you're playing on Friday. Like I'll jump in and do all the PvP stuff, but I'm not gonna do the strikes. I'm not gonna do raids, and like I'm done with Destiny 2. That's where I landed on it.
Well, good on you, man. You know, it sounds like you've escaped this abusive relationship,
right?
And you know, that's growth. You got to recognize the good and recognize the bad. I feel like
right. I love Destiny 2, but I'm personally done with it. So, what about you, Jeff? What you been
Destiny
playing
2,
and watching?
don't call me, don't DM me.
Period. None of that.
We're not Facebook friends no more, Destiny.
I'm going to Destiny 2. I picked up Destiny 2 a little before we started doing the Free For All Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So that was fun because I got to see a lot of the new stuff. They've been changing the menus, the store, the rewards you get for just doing normal stuff.
It's
like
all
before,
confusing too.
Well, that's because it's new. You haven't been doing it.
Exactly.
So like when you just jump back into a game, you can't expect to have everything down packed. So a lot of this stuff was
them to explain it.
It was. Have you ever had a game explain the menu to you? Like, oh, you gotta start going to start.
Yes.
To me,
RPGs do that, I think.
Yes, on a regular basis.
I don't feel like I didn't need my handhold. I kind of opened it up, I played with it, and then I understood it. So
Cool.
It's just like anything. But when I got into it, I saw that they had Shadowkeep DLC. So I downloaded that. Basically got it for free because the Game Pass rewards you get, like the points you get for doing Game Pass stuff. Cash those in for like two $10 gift cards, and then bought that. So that was free. So didn't cost me anything. So I started doing the first strike. The first mission they have you do is you go to the moon, and they do a cutscene with Eris, and they start going over that stuff. I'm not going to spoil it, any of it, but when we did Free for All Friday, it was just so much fun. I miss doing PvP.
Yeah, PvP is real fun.
Yeah, I miss playing the Crucible. Even when we got out from fighting each other and we went and did the 3v3 elimination, that was so much fun. So yesterday I actually played for about 2 hours. I think I played for, and it feels good. Uh, from the new strikes, the new exotics, I feel like the graphics seem either it's me or they seem a little different. But it took a little bit to adjust back
Yeah,
to.
Destiny is an old game. Like, it's hard to like think of it that way. But Destiny 2 is a very old game, and there's stuff that just looks so much better than it now.
Yeah,
Because it was good when it came out.
It doesn't look bad, but
It just looks older.
yeah, it required a readjustment from what I've been playing. So, with the event, so that event, like you said, was a season-long event. So there were things you were doing. As you did those things, and Rasputin got to certain points, you got rewards for that stuff. So we just came at the tail end of it. So we didn't really get anything because this was just like a snack with the end of first part. So you got stuff through the course of it. Now I
like
looked
a
it up.
publicity stunt.
Well, it was just something small that to add to it. Like, hey, we could have just said Rasputin destroyed the ship, but we can let you see it. Because when I looked it up, that's why I didn't tune into the stream of it, because it said it was an hour-long event. It said it's an
Yeah, I
hour
didn't know
long,
that.
and you get an emblem. So I just came at the last little bit of it.
But even if they tell you it's an hour-long event, shouldn't they have made the hour like more fun? Because you literally are staring at the sky and everything's
For an
moving
hour,
so slow.
bro.
Like, if you guys check out our YouTube page, because I posted the sped up version, this hour-and-a-half event is done in
And
5
you came
minutes.
late to that, right?
You could have went and did other stuff and came back. It told you it was an hour long. So at 12 o'clock, it was starting. At 1 o'clock, it was going to be done. At 1 o'clock, it was going to destroy the ship, and then it starts to come down. I came in at
That doesn't give you the
12.
context of how boring it was going to be. Like, for them to say it was going to be an hour doesn't.
It wasn't supposed to be like this whole
Event.
But shouldn't it have been?
But
Like,
it was supposed to be an event.
but because the only other thing to compare this stuff to is like what they do in Fortnite. Like, that Travis Scott concert is like the most recent thing that happened, and that was amazing. Like, I do not like Fortnite, but that event was amazing.
This wasn't a concert. It was just to show you what your end result was from all these stuff you accumulated through the whole season. The season was what the whole event was.
I don't know.
I disagree. No,
because I feel like that's a bad reward. Then that's a bad topper for the season. Like, if the whole season was like the Mass Effect 3 ending, some people was like, oh, I did all this stuff. The game was great, but then the very ending leaves you with a bad taste. Then that's kind of the legacy. You know what I mean? Game of Thrones is another example.
Game of Thrones. I was just about to say that.
Lord. That train wreck.
Yeah.
I finished doing some of that, so I'm doing a Shadow Keep stuff last night. So that's been pretty interesting. With the new lore and the darkness coming back. From Destiny 2, I did some. Actually, I think that's all I played for this week. So watching, I finished Baki. I got like one episode left.
Oh,
Yeah,
season
latest
3.
season, right?
Yeah, season 3 has been pretty good. It's a whole kind of the tournament going on where his dad shows up. So you actually finally get to see what his dad does. Also, you see
Man.
Muhammad Ali Jr. show up. So he's fighting.
Oh,
too,
snaps.
and that's really good. So the combat in this one is really good. I like the third one compared to the first two. To me, the first two seasons to me felt like it was lacking something. But this third season seems to kind of took away from, I can't say it took away from, because the manga has been out for a while, but it seemed like it took away from
You know, there's
Ashura.
an earlier anime too, right?
Yeah, from the 90s.
Yeah,
The
I actually
grappler.
caught up on all that stuff because the Baki that starts on Netflix is
like-
it's like out of context. Like, that's the thing that I think is missing, is the context of kind of what's going on, because all of that is the stuff before it.
Yo, Baki on Netflix is like, yo, look, there's people fighting, and this dude's pretty strong, so watch what happens next.
So,
That's basically the first 10 minutes of that first episode.
what was the name of the other one? Ashura.
Kengan Ashura.
Yeah, that one's actually really good. So
Yeah, I like it
this-
better. I do like Baki,
Yeah.
but I do like Kengan Ashura better, I think.
This season reminds me very much of that. I think that's pretty much all I've been watching and playing. It's been a crazy week of work.
Nice.
Can I add an asterisk to mine real quick? Fire Emblem Three Houses. I have to mention it.
Oh right, yeah,
I
you
picked it
didn't
up
mention
this
that.
week. I've been gushing about it, specifically to Sigma. This whole week I've just
Yeah,
been
because I
talking
caught
about.
that
I love
book
that.
a while back.
Man, I love them kids, and they got so many problems, and I just want to protect them all, and I just want to collect all the brown kids and be like, "Come with me. I'll trade you up to be great leaders of tomorrow." Fire Emblem Three Houses. I'm probably gonna be streaming it this week. Come check it out, y'all.
Yeah, fantastic game. But that's going to do it for our What We've Been Playing section. We're going to move on to a quick update. We're going to skip Super Smash Sunday again this week. Sorry, we don't have the time to fit it all in. It'll come back, don't worry.
These games are great, though. You got to check them out on Sundays. They're
please.
Still amazing.
Come through. But, Jeff, what do you got for us on the Batwoman news?
So, Ruby Rose has decided to call Season 1 last season. Even with the season finishing 7 episodes earlier, she decided not to come back for an additional season. So I'm guessing her contract only included 1 season, just in case it wasn't great. They could have parted ways. So instead of canceling the show, they're gonna look to another character. We don't know if that's gonna be another Batwoman or what, but there have been a couple of characters that have been considered. There's Bruce Wayne's cousin.
What?
What? Juice Wayne?
Cassie Kane's his cousin, so he has another cousin as well. But Bruce Wayne was actually in the Infinite Crisis. They showed was it like Earth 52 Bruce Wayne, where he actually went full on killing superheroes. He killed the Superman of that world. He killed
why
the
though?
You gotta watch the Infinite Crisis to get.
Yeah, I've been meaning. I keep forgetting that was a thing because I did want to watch that actually.
Yeah, so they're thinking about bringing Bruce Wayne back because in the actual show he's been missing for 3 years.
So wait, on the Batwoman show, they're thinking of bringing Bruce Wayne as in Batman to take the place of Batwoman.
Right now they're looking at different directions from what I've been reading, because with her leaving at the end of the season leaves a lot of stuff open. There's only been like maybe one other Batwoman, and she wouldn't necessarily fit into the story. So they're trying to figure out what character. I mean, they might wind up changing the name and keeping the show, but we don't know right now.
Wow. Okay.
So Batgirl and Batwoman are 2 different people, right?
Yes.
Yes.
What if they
Batgirl
just
is Barbara Gordon and
right?
Or there's no commissioner in this one. There's no Commissioner Gordon.
Oh, there's no commission. Oh, I was gonna say they could just bring Batgirl in. Maybe
At
she
this
could take
point,
over.
it's an organization called the Crows, who kind of police the city. It's like a armed military group of they get military contract to protect the city.
Okay, so this takes place today, is what you're saying.
There's no GC.
Message.
Okay, so yeah, that seems a little more messy than what we first heard, where she was gonna leave and they were gonna just replace the actress with another woman. This seems like
Yeah. Yeah, because for the LGBT community, she was one of the first superheroes for a TV series to show up. So
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Oh man. Okay. Well, we'll see what they do. Keep an eye on it.
Our next topic is smaller news, pun intended. Sega just made an announcement about bringing back an old favorite, the Game Gear, but as a micro version. And this is an extremely tiny console. So, and the other thing is, it's not like a Game Gear that actually had interchangeable cartridges. You could play different games on the thing. It's like a built-in singular game on each one. I think they come in different colors, and each color has a different game on it.
That's cute.
So, like, does anybody have experience with Game Gear?
I do.
Sonic
I do. But we have a variety of people here on the podcast, so I think this would be a very safe question to ask. Who asked for this?
Who asked for this Game Gear Micro?
Why not? Everybody's doing micro versions of systems. They figured why not put our feet in the pool.
Right, you know what?
There's
That's
a lot of
I don't think it's a terrible idea, at least on paper.
I'm glad you don't.
Because people do have nostalgia for Sega stuff, like, but why not do like the Dreamcast? Do a Dreamcast micro. People have like, there's a huge cult following for the Dreamcast.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I still have mine. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So why pick the Game Gear? And then why make it so? Because the thing is, the Game Gear was huge. You guys remember?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's very huge.
You could murder someone with that thing.
So then for them to
Didn't
do,
it take
the head.
like 6 batteries?
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I feel like it's like 3 on each
Six
side.
double A.
Right?
Yeah, three
Yeah.
double A. Sorry, 3 double A batteries on each side. Yeah.
And it would
Yeah.
still
I mean-
die like within an hour or two.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And your hands were glowing afterwards because the radiation.
I mean,
was
and
just-
also not to mention, you're carrying this big console with the cartridges that weren't small either. Like those like
cartridges were
those
like magazines.
right? Like sure, chuck that thing right at somebody.
What you
And
think,
now-
Senpai, about this micro gear?
I don't know. Like, I've only played like the Game Gear only a handful of times because I think it was either my dad had one when he was a child and like it was just lying around. I'm like, oh, what is this?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I get the whole notion of them trying to be on the wave with like other gaming companies. I'm just like, is anybody gonna really buy this? Especially right now, like, come on now.
Yeah, that's a really good point, especially right now, because the price for these things is $45 US.
Oh, see, and they so
Okay.
small, man. I'm gonna have it in my back pocket. And I'm gonna sit down and be like, you know what I'm saying, and it's done.
Oh, I
That's-
forgot.
Okay, that's okay. So you finally got to why I'm so like this is
$45.
This is so stupid. Not to mention that they have an accessory to make the small screen bigger.
Yes, I saw
you
that.
can get for free if you pre-order all 4 of them, because all 4 of them come with completely different games. So you know what this actually reminds me of? This reminds me of Treyarch or Activision, when they, in the latest Call of Duty, they removed the ability for you to check what
check your KDR.
your KDR, but
Yeah.
then they give you a class that you have to spend money for that has a watch that will then show you what your KD is, because you can't see your KD during the match. You
During
can
the
get it
match.
when the match ends, but they took away that problem. They took away that, made a problem, and then sold you a solution.
Wow.
Why am I going to buy? Seriously, why am I going to buy 4 individual consoles that can fit in the palm of my hand, all different,
$45 each.
$45 each?
Like, they
when
didn't even
I
offer like a
can get
bundle
it-
deal for this?
The only thing that you get if you bundle would be
Would be
that
the
tiny
free magnifying
the
screen.
free- Because and here's the thing though. Let's just say push comes to shove and I want to get this. And let's say I'm not going to have the issue that Blue brought up. But why? And everything that is good in Celestia's world, am I going to be carrying this stupid magnifying thing with it? Because I'm either going to be playing it like this, which is just completely ridiculous, or I'm going to have to go back to the 90s. Do you remember when GameStop used to sell these huge like Game Boy Advance like
Accessory
pack?
kits? Yeah.
Yes. Like you felt like it was a suitcase.
It was
that you had, but you can hold every little attachment. I feel like I'm gonna have to go back to that with this, because I'm not keeping that in my pocket. Like I do apologize. I do apologize for this, but I'm not the thinnest guy in the world, so that thing would probably get crushed if I sit on it.
I mean, to play devil's advocate,
Okay.
I can think of a use case for these things. Like, there are 4 different ones with 4 different games, so that makes them a collectible thing, right? So, and also the fact that they're so tiny makes them novelty. So it's not necessarily that it's a console that you're gonna play with. It's like a thing to show off or to display somewhere. You know what I mean? Like it's for the hell of it. But the pricing doesn't really gel with that, and like that's the thing that makes it such a turnoff. Like it's a fun, cool, cute idea. If they would have just made this make a little bit more sense money wise, like $10, $15 even per thing, and I feel like people
I'm not gonna lie, I
have
could see 20.
Yeah, see, like just take away that sticker shock, and this seems like a much more reasonable, fun thing to do.
Just to have I'll put it on my mantelpiece or something.
You know
like that.
what?
Right.
But I wouldn't play it.
If it's purely to show off, I see where you're going with it. Because if it's if it's 4 and they're 20 each, all right, so that's 8. So $80, and I guess I have a nice conversation piece to put on my mantle, and we can talk about.
Like
all
it's
the
a novelty.
kids
Like somebody comes over, like, "Oh, you got a tiny Game Gear? Oh, I remember this game." And then that's pretty much the end of it. Like, but that's what you got it for, $20.
To say that's not too bad.
Yeah,
I
but
guess.
I don't know. This seems like a bit too much. Like Sega kind of.
Let's get the
I had
unemployment rate a little lower.
Yeah, let's start with that.
What about you, Jeff? Any thoughts on the Game Gear? You said you had one, or you played one back in the day, right?
Yeah, I was saying that. Had one, played Sonic, and then there was a X-Men game, that side-scrolling Metrovania X-Men game that I played on that.
Really?
I mean, so are you getting one?
Nope.
No, just that. Just that simple. Okay, so we'll move off of the Sega, and we have some more terrifying news. Kendra, this is your alley.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Like, you do not understand. I love Dead by Daylight so freaking much. My friend had got me onto it like a couple years ago, and like I've pretty much loved the progression from when I first started playing to now. Mm-hmm. They recently came out with a collaboration. They normally do bring on licensed killers from cult classics. They got Freddy Krueger, Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Mm-hmm. What else? They have Michael Myers. He's absolutely terrifying in the game. Like, oh my gosh. I hate going. Yes. Oh my gosh. So that was literally my favorite chapter, because I think when they came out with the trailer, all they had was just like 3 upside down question marks. And I was just like, I know what it is. I know what it is. And as soon as they came out with the trailer, okay, so basically to commemorate their 4th anniversary, they came out with a Silent Hill Pyramid Head crossover. And I looked at a couple of the gameplay, and he's very cheap. Like, and I'm gonna need for them to nerf him, because, you know, usually when you're getting attacked by a killer, it usually takes them, you know, a little bit for them to, like, you know, charge up to hit you again. He's just like, dagger. I'm like, no, I don't like this. I don't like this. This is cool, but I don't like this at all.
So
like,
what kind of attack mechanic?
But I don't like this.
What kind of attack mechanic is making him cheap?
So it's just the way that he just hits you, basically. It's mm-hmm. that, it's his, it's basically like, I don't know what you call it, but he can pretty much angle his load up towards you, and he can like insta down you or like attack you in that way. And then there's also a notion of where he can hit you and he can trap you in this like cage or whatever. It's not necessarily him putting you on the hook, but you're just in there. Like, I don't know. It's just weird. I'm like, I'm gonna have to see more gameplay before I actually, you know, think about buying the DLC. But from what I've seen, based off of PC users that were able to test it out with the PTV, I'm just like, yeah, you're terrifying, and I'm a hold off on you for a little bit.
So it's not that he like downs you with one hit. Is it that like he's like Billy where he can like rev up and like go after you that way?
Pretty much.
Oh.
Pretty much. It's basically like a mix between the hillbilly and I want to say like the plague when it comes to like her projectile. Yeah.
Like it's like it's sickness everywhere. Like no matter what, it's like hit me, just hit me. Don't vomit on me, and you vomited on me again. Thank you. Okay, like whatever.
Yeah.
Here we go again. Okay.
So yeah, I'm excited about that in a sense, but I'm also excited about the other features that Dead by Daylight is also bringing. They're finally looking to do crossplay, and I was just like,
oh, that's
my
awesome.
gosh, this because they've already kind of like tested it out with Steam and like Microsoft PC users, but they're also looking to do like console as well. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is great because I literally have Dead by Daylight on all 3 of my consoles.
There you go.
So I'm just like, I can play with my Xbox friends, my PS4 friends, and my Switch friends. I'm like, this is amazing. This is awesome.
Now, I'm concerned about that only because some of the more advanced mechanics of Dead by Daylight are significantly easier on a PC versus
In what way? Like how?
Okay, so I will explain. So as a survivor, you are in third person mode. As a killer, you are in first person mode. When you are a survivor and you're running away and you can see the killer trying to take a swipe at you, you could do a 360 spin where you come behind them, they slash at you, miss, and then you just turn right back around. It's a very quick thing that typically takes certain level of mouse sensitivity to do. So that's going to be difficult to do with just a joystick. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to do with just a joystick. And that's even more so when you are the killer, because when you're the killer, you have a cone of visibility. You can only see so far in front of you. So, for example, when you are chasing a survivor and that survivor is going to go over a window, you actually see a few inches past the window. So if the survivor actually jumps over the window but then stays right there, they can actually just poof right out of sight and you will never see them. But getting that kind of angle as a survivor on console is just more difficult because of moving a mouse precision versus the precision you can get with a joystick.
So again, it comes down to mouse precision.
Yeah, it's definitely mouth precision on that one because, I mean, there's just so much ducking and dodging that a survivor has to do. They need to be able to have all that, at their fingertips, especially it's like, oh, crap, I don't have any more pallets. Or am I like, okay, I've got a window over here and like coming over there.
But like, not to get too granular on like the mechanics of it, because I've never played Dead by Daylight, but I'm curious. Is there like a dodge button, or you're saying that like to dodge, you literally have to like physically move your character out of the way?
Physically move your character. There is no dodge action. The closest, and I mean the closest you get to a dodge action would be either vaulting over a pallet or a window, but there is no button you can press that will dodge. It's literally you're running. I see that the character is going to try to take a slash at me, which is going to slow them down if I can dodge. But if I get hit, well, then I'm just on the ground and then they see me bleeding and then they can chase me. So there we go.
And then you also have to take into account of your perk loadout as well. So there's certain perks that you could possibly use, like for instance, David's Dead Heart. If you see the killer, about to hit you, you can actually press that button to kind of like kickstart your chasing ability and stuff like that.
For
example, for a very short period of time, exactly. And then you also have Nia's Urban Evasion. That's that's a pretty good perk to, you know, put in your loadout because, you know, at a normal crouch rate, you wouldn't be moving as fast, and urban evasion kind of like picks up the momentum, you know what I'm saying? So you also have to, you know, keep that in mind as well.
So there you go.
Okay.
If you ever wanted to play Dead by Daylight, Sigma.
Not really my cup of tea, but I don't know. If we somehow get access to it for a free for all Friday or something, I would totally jump in with you guys. So let's put that out to the universe.
What do I feel like?
Is it on Game Pass?
Like your Game Pass?
It's on
Yeah.
Game Pass.
Oh, do
pretty
y'all
sure
want to
it
do a
is.
free for all Friday? Dead by Daylight?
That's y'all.
All right, because
Yeah, you know.
Blue's afraid of scary
Yeah.
games. So
Well, yeah, I don't do horror games. I played that game before actually.
so
is
play
a
it
kill
again
your-
for free for all Friday.
No.
there is a kill your friends mode in it, so we can make a private session
yeah.
and then just make a kill your friends mode.
All right,
Yeah.
let's set it up. Blue can watch
Yo,
and cry,
I will
and
watch
then
on
everybody
the
else will play
stream.
Dead by Daylight.
Hey man, I got the tissues. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna bring some
Oh.
snacks.
Oh,
Got
I'm
the
a-
Kleenex ready.
You know what I'm saying? On deck.
Okay, so that's exciting news coming from that franchise. Our final topic, a little bit more serious here.
Yeah.
As you guys know, there are a lot of protests that are going on everywhere, and pretty much all aspects of life are chiming in, giving their 2 cents. Some celebrities maybe shouldn't have, but a lot of companies are actually releasing very supportive statements in favor of, you know, the George Floyd incident, as well as Black Lives Matter, Breonna Taylor, all sorts of racial injustice issues.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to talk about kind of how so many of these companies, especially video game companies and outlets, are releasing statements in support of these movements, but also the fact that some of them may just be paying lip service because it is kind of the wave right now. And kind of how do we all feel about companies chiming in when it seems sort of advantageous, and like which ones are maybe doing enough and who maybe isn't doing, you know, enough.
I will say. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, at this point today, if they are empty words, I don't think that's the biggest issue right now. Right
Mhm.
now, I understand that is a problem if they're empty words for sure. That, don't get me wrong, but right now we need as much attention to let folks know that we do not deserve to be killed in the middle of the street. So
Right.
if big companies are saying, please don't kill black people in the middle of the street, whether they really mean it or not, I'm super cool
Right,
with
that's
them
kind of
saying
besides
that.
the point, right?
Yeah. Like,
Fair enough.
at least for today.
Yeah, and you gotta
That's
think
how I
about
feel
it,
about
like, not saying something is definitely not gonna
It's
help.
worse. Yeah, exactly.
Because, for example, I think we saw it online. So I was like, oh well, PlayStation said, you know, supported, you know, the movement. Xbox didn't say anything. It's always going to be this company didn't say anything, and people are going to remember that. So you
Mhm.
definitely have to voice whether you know they're empty words. We won't know that, but they have to say something and make a stance, you know, so to speak, to pick their side of where they stand. Because you also have people who aren't being asked for their negative opinion, but are given that as well. So you're learning who's on what side of the field,
Right.
and that's very important nowadays.
And the one
100%.
thing that I want to mention to you is yes, I do understand the importance of getting the voice, getting it out, getting the support out, and even with people who may be doing it just simply cashing in on it, like the thing with Muriel Bowser, when and how Black
sorry.
Lives Matter is painted on.
Can you just real quick let us know who Muriel Bowser is? In case,
I'm sorry.
In case people don't know.
She's the DC mayor.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just
sorry.
wanted to explain in case people didn't know.
Sorry. Yes. So the DC mayor who has painted Black Lives Matter basically on the road leading over to the White House. It was amazing. It was great. It was a very good statement. And then, of course, people do what people normally do every single time a good deed is done. They go and dig a little further, and then they find out, oh, hey, so you painted all this. You painted all this. You painted this sign right here, which is great. Then you also cut funding to schools for the next fiscal year and is increasing the police budget next year. So you're also doing that. We haven't forgotten, which is kind of the point I wanted to, which is leading me into my point. All these people can do whatever it is that they want to do. I think what needs to be understood now is that everyone's eyes are now open to it. It's not just like, oh, hey, kind of like what was done with Call of Duty, where they had that little message that popped up before the game started. Like, oh, we matter, like we care and things like that. And then, right afterwards, you can still, hit A, play the game, and then hear the N-word constantly throughout your chat, as opposed to
that's their fault.
Rockstar, where they just said, "Hey, it's just off. We're just for this moment right here, we're just going to be cutting that off." So I think it's great. I think that companies. First of all, I don't think there's something that we should even really be talking about. It should just be painfully obvious. But here we are. Also, people are actually really starting to pay attention now because they're starting to it's getting to the point where, which is funny, America is typically the people that looks out to say, oh, we support such and such. But we got other countries looking at us like, oh, man, you guys,
it's worldwide.
You guys need some help. Like
they said, look, in 18 different countries, there's like, man, that is rough. Like, we need to do something for them because that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Kind of, getting back to these game companies specifically, and the events, the notifications, all the things that they're doing. I think it's good to at least put it out in some homes that wouldn't even think about this being a big deal. You know what I mean?
I agree with that, because even like you were saying, on the surface level, if the company doesn't mean it, they don't intend to do anything after the fact. The fact that on 2K, for example, when you load up the game, it's the first thing you see is just kind of a message regarding these things. I want to call out Nickelodeon because they literally blacked out their programming for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, which was the amount of time that the police officer had his knee on George Floyd's neck, and like showed messages saying, I can't breathe, Black Lives Matter, things like that, just in their regular broadcast. So like a bunch of parents who had their kids watching TV
just
were like, what? Well, let me rephrase that.
You had to feel the impact.
A bunch of white parents who didn't know what was going on.
You have to mention the Karen.
Right. Yeah. Had their kids come up and say, Mommy, something's wrong with the TV or something. And they're like, oh, my child was afraid. My child was scared. That was the point. Yeah. That was the point. Now they're thinking about it. Now they get the slightest bit.
The very least.
The slightest bit of an understanding about like kind of the tone and the feeling that's all over this country. Like, this kind of messaging disrupts people's comfortability. PlayStation was going to do a games showcase 3 days ago.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. They said they were going to push it back. There were so many people in the comments who were upset. They were like, oh, why does all this have to affect my PlayStation news? Like, what? It's like this, that, and the third. And it's like, on one hand, like, that shows you how complicit a lot of people are. Like, as long as it doesn't personally affect them, they could not give a damn. And stuff like this,
why these messages need to come out.
Stuff like this makes it their problem. So yes, they can be aggravated and angry about the fact that their life has been disrupted, but that's the point. You need this disruption because you need to think about it. If you're upset about the fact that you didn't get video game news last week, you're part of the problem.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I did want to say that, while we say all this, right? If Pokeball comes around next year and supports Trump doing whatever, right? We gonna remember that too.
Yeah.
If 2K does the same, we're gonna remember that. So the fact that they're saying it out here, if they're empty words, we're gonna find out.
Yeah, like,
and you will get put on blast.
Yeah, and
you will get dragged.
There is a difference. Like, because some of these companies are releasing statements, and that's kind of the end of it. Others are doing more, and they're saying that they intend to do more in the future. Like Best Buy released a very long statement, basically saying like, look, we've been really thinking about this. We've been focusing on this. We want to do better. We're going to create coalitions within our company to talk about these things, see what we can do as a company. Like, they intend to do something more than just that statement. You know what I mean?
I want to say something, and I think this is safe to say. My day job, I work at a hospital, and my day job has actually come to me about anything that I could possibly do in regards to this. And being in the corporate life for as long as I have, you really don't often think that they care. Sometimes they do, and it surprises you, though. Sometimes, and that was surprising, because at least with as big as a company of where I work, they don't have to, but they realize the importance, and they have. Even during this whole pandemic, my company hasn't had to lay anyone off, but the top leadership took a pay cut, and that was surprising. And just like Blue said, that's something I'm going to remember. That's definitely going to be something that I remember. And this is the internet. No one is going to let you forget anything.
That is the truth.
No good or bad thing you've done is not going to be brought up.
Like, if you are a closet racist that is putting on a front for Black Lives Matter publicly on the internet, you gonna get find out. Like, it's
listen, like I've been seeing like legit on the Twitter, like on the Twitterverse, like this whole "this you" like era or arc, if you say, they've been just literally been exposing the crap out of so many.
I love it so much.
Not even closeted racism, but outward racism, and people have literally been like losing scholarships, losing their jobs. Like people are going to remember. Like you may have deleted whatever you said, but literally screenshots are forever.
Did you guys hear about the Lea Michele thing? The star from Glee?
I did.
No.
I did.
This girl posted a message in support of Black Lives Matter, right? On her Twitter. Oh, whoop-de-doo, right? One of her co-stars, a black woman, came underneath it and was like, oh, do you remember the time where you used to bully me and not let me sit with the rest of the cast and blah, 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 back when we were doing the show? And the internet ate her up. Like, she tried to jump on the bandwagon and she got exposed immediately.
It happened so fast.
Yo.
Yikes.
Yeah, I think even Amber Riley had chimed in and put like some subliminals and stuff.
Right, yeah. She added to the thing. Like, the other people jumped in to also co-sign that Lea Michele was not about that life, that she doesn't actually care. And she was exposed, like, in a heartbeat.
Like, you know what? Some of the worst ones, right? Where you see people, like, kneeling or working on something. Oh my god! Have you seen those videos where they're like, "Hey, can I hold that drill real quick?" They take a picture and they get back in their car and bounce.
A reporter did that. Yeah, a reporter did that and got fired.
Oh my goodness!
Actually, let me chime in and tell you something about just like the cop propaganda in general, because we've been dealing with our own, like, I guess, racial issues here, where I live at. And I would normally see people like that live in the area. They would live stream the protests and stuff like that. And 1 minute, you have like the organizer of the protest. They would go to like meet up with the cops. They would shake their hands, talk or whatever. And literally, like 5 minutes later, you hear on the intercom, "Oh, this is an unlawful assembly." So I'm just like, what was the reason? You know what I'm saying? What was the reason of you guys kneeling? What was the reason of you guys like shaking our hands? Was it for a photo op? Like, what was the reason? Right, like, you know what I'm saying? So usually whenever I see people talking about like, I guess pretty much for like the older generation who more so look at what's on the media, like you have to look at the people in real time. You know what I'm saying? Looking at the eyewitness.
Yeah.
point of view, because you can't necessarily rely on the media, you know what I'm saying? Because they're always gonna try and twist it in some way.
Yeah, there's
So
spin all over the place. I mean, there are some outlets that are better than others, but there's definitely spin just all over the place. So you need to kind
yeah.
of get the same story from multiple angles and really just kind of formulate
Right.
your own perspective. Like, it's super important in these days, especially.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. 100%.
I mean, anything left on this story? Jeff, did you have anything to add?
No, I mean, I kind of took a break from social media,
Makes
just because
sense.
it's so.
That makes perfect sense.
So, I know how I feel. I know how people I associate feel about certain things. So I don't need to see, because some of it's fake, some of it's real, some of it's just depressing. But so has the last 400 years, So it just, as a father, it makes me wonder how the world's going to be 10, 15 years, if we're still going to be having this fight, if we are going to make some type of progress by that time, and how that's going to affect my son.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just took a break, just for peace of mind.
Yeah, that's definitely something I think everyone should do from time to time, is like just kind of log off and let your brain reset, because it can be so
Reset.
overwhelming.
Yeah, I had to tell
Yeah.
my girl, because a lot of time, she's an essential worker. She and she comes home really late, and she has a whole bunch of stuff to unpack. And a lot of times she's talking about the stories that she read throughout the day, and she'll spit like 4 or 5 police brutality stories at me. I'm like, baby, hold on. I can only take like 1 or 2 at a time. Let me breathe and think about it, because like it's sad, and it hurts, because all of us know that in the wrong time and place, that could have been us.
I got
Yeah.
pulled over.
In the wrong time and place, that could have been any of us, and that's why it hurts so much. Like, yo, these seemingly meaningless scenarios turn into a death because of this. I can't hear that for long, and it hurts. You know what I mean? But it's real.
Definitely.
So that was our final topic. We're going to move on into our mailbag. A much lighter,
Much
question this
lighter.
week. This is also from my significant other. She specifically asked me to read the entire question plus the subject the way it was
hoping you were
written.
gonna do that.
So she goes,
Just like,
quizzy question for y'alls. What it do? What's good? In your opinion, what's the best theme song from any show and why? Stay classy, Keeks.
Thank you, Keeks.
What you guys
That was
got?
a
Best
great-
theme song,
that was-
any show.
Oh man. Personally, right now, and I've mentioned it a couple times because I'm going through it. I love the In Living Color. Not In Living Color. Living Single.
Living Single?
Theme
Okay.
song.
That's a
It's
good one.
really dope. It's a bop. I never skip it. Not even once. You know what I mean?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
It's also coupled with the shadow dancing lady.
Yes.
Like
yes,
watching
the
her
shadow,
dance to the song
yeah.
is also part of
Yes.
it.
And then hearing Queen Latifah, rap over it, and watching the show, they do a lot of tie-ins to the theme song a lot too, which is really nice. So yeah, Living Single. That's my show right now.
it's gonna be the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
That's a really good one.
Ooh, Yeah. Okay. I feel it, bro.
Like
What y'all got?
it has that mix of being catchy and also explaining what the show is.
Narrative. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like that's what really made it a
Iconic.
classic, I feel like.
Speaking of which, did y'all hear Will Smith's response to
Oh, Joyner
what's his
Lucas?
name? Joyner Lucas?
Yes,
Yeah.
the remix
Like,
on that.
yes.
Oh man,
I-
that was
Oh,
fire.
yeah, he did the remake.
Dope.
Yeah, he
Oh,
snapped.
That was
He
so
snapped on
fire.
that joint.
Oof. I love
That was really good. Because I'm not a big fan of Joyner Lucas, but that song kind of made me start thinking about him. And then when Will
Yup.
jumped on it, I was like, "Oh wow,
I
this
was
is
like,
this is dope."
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, when with the line that Will said where it's like, I ain't got a cuss to keep it real, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah,
He hasn't.
he
has
like
That's been his
Bad
thing, yeah.
Boys, like Bad Boys 2, but like music, like in his and it's like, wow. But my theme song,
Yeah,
DuckTales.
That's
that's
a really
a good one.
one.
That's a really
really
good
good
one.
I like
Even the latest one is good.
Even the latest one is good, and you don't often say that about a cartoon.
Yeah,
A remake is also good, but DuckTales,
That's
yeah,
a really good one.
Okay,
Like-
I have a bonus one. I'm sorry.
Okay, what's your bonus one, Jeff?
Steven Universe.
Ooh,
Clap it up.
Yeah,
Clap it up.
yeah,
I love that theme song. That theme song is fantastic. The extended version,
yeah.
fam.
Oh yes, yes.
it
yes.
starts off with it just starts with one word. We
We
are the crystal
Oh,
gems.
the crystal gem.
Oh, it's really good.
And if you think we can't, we'll always find a way.
Yo, I hate that the lag does not let us sync up.
Oh my goodness!
I want to see.
It's like I have to ignore what's in my ears. I'm trying to stay on time. But yes, Steven Universe. Yes, totally.
All right, so my pick, and honestly, I feel like this is probably in the top 3 or 2 just best theme songs of anything, period, is the Pokemon theme song. The first Pokemon theme song.
Oh, that is very inspirational.
Yeah,
Oh my god,
definitely.
that song is
About
so
anything.
epic.
If you listen to that song, yeah. Actually, now that you say it, I should put it on my gym playlist.
Like, fam,
you get
that-
a couple reps in after that.
Not only is it something that sticks in your head, it makes you feel like Pokemon is like the most important thing in the universe.
Like nothing else matters.
Like, yo,
Nothing else matters.
the
They need to
the
understand
passion
the
that
power.
that singer throws, and then when the chorus comes, oh my god, I love that theme song. It is so good.
No. And the power ballad guitar solo.
Yes, like the freaking guitars, the way it starts, man. Do do do.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
You should do a cover to that.
And as like a little kid, you're watching this other character like lift his head up into
Right?
the light. I want to be the very best. It's like I do too.
Like, I relate to this. I feel seen.
Like yes, with my hat and my plastic Pokedex and my other hand. Like yes, I want to be the very best.
Oh my god, I love that theme song.
The outfit.
Yeah.
Woo! So emotional, man. Yes.
So Kendra, what you got for best
What you got,
theme
Miss
song?
Senpai?
Oh, okay, so I'm like really conflicted because I'm always gonna appreciate the '90s version, but oh my gosh, I seen Sailor Moon Crystal. This particular theme song for Sailor Moon Crystal, like they played it, I think for the first 2 seasons. That joint just be hitting. Moon Pride be hitting. I'm like, Moon Pride is gonna stay on when we clean. When I have my kids, Moon
Yeah.
Pride stays on when we clean up every Sunday. Like
Oh,
it stays on.
That's
Period.
the Sunday cleanup song.
That is the Sunday cleanup song.
Oh dear. Oh boy.
So sassy.
They're gonna get tired of me. I'm like, look, Usagi Pride or die. You can go somewhere else, okay?
As
Okay.
you mentioned, anime, I definitely have to give some of my
Yeah, go ahead.
honorable
Give
mentions.
honorable mentions.
I
Like,
got some
everybody picked
honorable
their
mentions,
first one.
man.
Go ahead.
I think it was the second. It was either the first or the second theme song for My Hero Academia. The one that starts like,
Mhm.
You know which one I'm talking
Yes,
about?
yeah, that one is good.
That one.
That one is
I
good.
love that one. Yeah.
That's a
No,
good
every time that came out, I was ready. Now that arc wasn't as hype as the theme song. I feel like if they leave that, like let it go on later, it would have matched everything.
I
But
do wish they would-
Either way.
Speaking of which, I don't know if Jeff would have mentioned this, but the first Bleach intro song
Yeah.
by Orange Range, like I went and found the band and listened to like a bunch of their other stuff because of that. Like I don't know what they were saying. It was all in very fast. Yeah, yes, because you're rewatching it now, right? Yeah, that joke is fire.
It's pretty good.
And also
It's as long as heck, though.
the Neon Genesis Evangelion song.
Man, we're going down
Like,
the anime
The
one.
intro to Neon Genesis Evangelion is fantastic. Like choruses have done renditions of that anime intro, and it's incredible.
Oh yeah. I've heard of those. I've seen. Wasn't there like a Japanese theme show? Singing
Yes,
show
it was like
where,
a Japanese
black
singing
choir?
show, and a black choir did a Cruel Angel
Yeah.
thesis for the competition, and they knocked it out of the park. Like, go find that if you have it. Like, honestly, that's probably the second best anime theme song ever. Cowboy Bebop is up there too.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh. See now
Yeah.
this is the problem with the question, right? She said any show.
Yeah, any show. So
Any show.
anime has a lot of hitters though.
A
Okay.
lot of hitters. Fire
Okay.
Force first season opening theme had an amazing theme song called
Yes.
Okay. Oh, Cannon Busters. Can we forget?
Oh crap! Yes,
Are you kidding me?
Can-
How
Can-
can we forgot
Cannon Buster's theme song is better than the entire show.
Yes, 100%.
I mean, if you're keeping it real, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh
All
my
right.
gosh.
So if we're doing honorable mentions, it's not a cartoon, but
That's
it
fine.
is the Law and Order SVU theme.
Yo, that joint is iconic.
Yes.
Like,
When that flute comes in, that is a good
Yeah.
one. That's a good one.
Jeff, you got any more honorable mentions?
Yeah.
So we can shut up, Gamer.
More recently would be actually the Parasite opening theme song.
Oh, really?
Yeah, check it out.
I have to watch.
Yeah, I haven't checked that out yet. But you were making a case for me to actually start it because I was staying away from it because I know it's one of those animes that tends to have excessive gore, and I'm not really a
I make
fan
a
of
lot
that.
of cases. I make a lot of cases.
Yeah, but some of them aren't good, so you made a good one this time.
All of them are good.
That's not the case. Bro.
But that's gonna
Right,
do
yeah.
it. Thanks for that question. You guys can also email us questions at bbetgaming@gmail.com. Feel free to ask
That's
about
right.
anything under the sun. Doesn't have to be specifically video game related or nerd culture related. It can be about us. It can be about current events. Just write us in. We're gonna go ahead and close things out. I want to give a very special thanks to Kendra, Senpai the
Mr.
Dolphin,
Senpai the Dolphin.
for coming and doing this show with us. Thank you so much. Glad to have you
Thank
here.
you, Muchacho.
Where can people find you if they're looking for you on the internet? Like, what are your pages and your social media handles and all that stuff?
Okay, so I try to change my handle on Instagram and Twitter.
Mhm.
So my Instagram and Twitter handle, it is Madam Zeti. That is Zeti.
Mhm.
Also, if you are into cosplay, I also have a cosplay page on Facebook.
Hey.
It is Senpai Dolphin Cosplay. So yeah, that's where you can find me at.
Nice.
Good stuff.
Jeff, what about you? Where can people find you on the internet if they are looking for
So,
you?
When you are looking for me, there is no if. You can find me
I'm gonna say if every time.
on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Mixer. Don't forget Instagram. You can find me as ManJeff12 on all 4 of those sites. And since we're talking about this, make sure you gotta hit that subscription button at the bottom so that way you get notified when we post new content.
Yeah.
We have episode 50, which will be recorded next week. We'll be dropping the following Tuesday, so that's definitely a momentous occasion. So definitely you want to check that out.
No, episode 50 is a live show.
No, that's the live
Oh, yeah.
show, bro.
Sorry. Apologies.
That's all right. Gamer, where can people find you?
So, if you are looking for me, you can find me at startbuttonreview.com. That is start button, right, Blue?
Yeah, start. START.
I'm gonna punish you for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I know. I
Okay.
said smash button for a long time. If y'all haven't been keeping up with the podcast, and for some reason I just stopped. I got it read a couple times, but yeah, it's not smash button. It's start button. START.
Yes, startbuttonreview.com. I am SBRMRGAMER on basically all social media platforms except Instagram. There is an underscore between the SBR and MR. Also, check out my podcast and a project that me and my wife are working on.
Interesting. Also vague.
Cool. Yes.
Purposeful.
Mystery.
So how about you, Blue?
It's your boy Blue Bones BLUB0NES. You already know me. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Play with Blue Bones. Pretty much anything.
OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just OnlyFans, Blue Bones. You already know. You know what I'm saying?
Takes on a
PayPal,
whole nother meaning there.
It's just me playing Animal Crossing. That's all. People love it.
BBW. Ain't no crossing.
What was that?
Nothing.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
My goodness.
So, yeah, follow me there. Just like Jeff tried to say earlier, we're having a live show next week, the 50th, 10:30.
10:30 a.m.
10:30
Eastern
a.m.
Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time. You're gonna see us on Mixer. You're gonna see us on YouTube. You're gonna see us on Twitch. You're gonna see us on Facebook. Granted, all those technologies work with us that day, but you're gonna see us there. We're gonna have some giveaways for you. We're gonna have a great, fun discussion, just like you saw here, and we got some games mixed in too. So, yeah, definitely come check us out. It's gonna be a great time. You don't want to miss out.
Right.
And Mr. Sigma Gears 9, where can people find you?
You can find me on pretty much all social media at Sigma Gears 9. You can find me on Facebook at Sigma and Sun. You can find my 3-minute reviews as well as opinion pieces and live streams on escapistmagazine.com or the Escapist YouTube channel. Check that stuff out. Just posted, I mentioned earlier, the 5-minute recap of that Destiny 2 event, so search for that on the
check
page.
that out.
definitely much better watch than doing it in person. Trust me.
Yeah.
Once again, just want to thank all my co-hosts. Special thanks to Kendra
Yeah.
for coming through and helping us out
Yeah.
by being a special guest. Hope we'll see you in the future at some point. Hope you had fun and enjoyed your time.
Okay.
Miss Senpai,
Thank you for having me.
I want to see you stream your sim adventures. We talked about that once before a while back. I want to revisit that conversation.
I don't know if I'm right. If I were to do that, I would probably have to literally start an OnlyFans because I would just be sitting there mind my business, and like there would be like 3 people in the bathroom having a threesome, like, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
no, this is not what I signed up for.
So
I came
feel
to like sing karaoke, and y'all just out here doing the most.
I feel like after you said that, you're gonna have to start your OnlyFans. 'Cause now people hear what kind of stuff is going on. So it's a win-win situation.
That's what they wanted.
Okay.
That's gonna do
Okay.
it. That's gonna do it for episode 49. Thanks everybody for watching and listening. Peace.
Adios.